What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Run with Jay channel. So today we're going to have another shoe showdown between two top tier marathon racing shoes, the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent 2 going up head to head against the Adidas Adios Pro 2. So this is going to be a rematch from last year where the Vaporfly barely took the win over the Adios Pro. So we're going to see if this year the changes made to the Adios Pro will be enough to overcome the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent 2, or will the Vaporfly still reign supreme in this shoe showdown? And as usual, we'll review these shoes between 5 different categories. There'll be features, cost and value, comfort, weight, and performance. And we're going to give each of these shoes a score of 1 to 5 for each of these categories, and then we're going to tally up the total to see which shoe reigns supreme. And as a disclaimer, the shoe showdowns are for entertainment purposes only. The results and scores are a matter of my personal opinion. I highly recommend you guys to try on these shoes yourself to see which one would fit better for you. And if this is your first time to the channel, welcome. Please hit that like and subscribe button as well as the bell for notifications. And to all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for your contribution and support. So let's get the shoe showdown started. So starting out with the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent 2, this shoe hasn't changed quite a lot, but it does have some nice smaller changes, especially to the upper of the shoe. They replaced the Nike Vaporweave material upper, which is more water resistant, with the mesh material up here, which is breathable and lightweight. They also added the serrated laces from the Nike Alphafly Next Percent, which helps keep your shoe laced up for longer periods of time. They added some rubber reinforcements to the top for extra support. And also the midsole and the outsole pretty much has remained the same, and the carbon fiber plate, that full length that's still in the shoe, hasn't changed either. So overall, pretty much an upper update, which I really like. The shoe is more locked in and form-fitting to my feet, which I really enjoyed, and it's also a lot more comfortable compared to last year's version with the Vaporweave. Also, breathability is a plus as well because of the mesh. So a lot of runners really enjoy that feature addition as well. There's padding in the Achilles similar to last year, and I think the heel is a little bit deeper now, cushioned, so for extra comfort. So not a whole lot of changes to the shoe, but some changes to the upper, which are very welcoming, and I enjoy that a lot. Onto the Adidas Adios Pro 2. This shoe looks a little bit different from last year as well. They took a big chunk of the Light Strike Pro foam out of the shoe on the bottom, and which now exposes the energy rods in the shoe, which Adidas uses kind of like mimics the carbon fiber plate to give you energy return on your forefoot. So there's 5 carbon-infused energy rods that are all throughout the forefoot to kind of mimic where your toes are, to give you that responsiveness and energy return similar to a carbon fiber plate. And there's also a heel plate in the back of the shoe, which is carbon-infused as well to give you the extra support and stability. The upper of the shoe is now Cellular Mesh 2.0. Feels a little bit similar to last year, got that plastic feeling, but it's very breathable, lightweight, and it's pretty much see-through, so you can kind of see your entire feet. So if you want to change the look of the shoe, you basically have to just change your socks, and the shoe will look kind of different. Other than that, they changed the tongue a little bit, but it's still very similar. The outsole, you're still using the tacky rubber grip outsole material, which I really enjoy, and this year it's a lot more durable. They added the Continental rubber on the top of the shoe as well, and they made the strips on the bottom of the shoe a lot longer compared to last year. The weight pretty much has still stayed the same as well. The laces pretty much have stayed the same. So similar to the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent, it was more so of an upper upgrade to the shoe. It's very welcome by both shoe lovers, and I think the Adios Pro lovers will also like the smaller enhancements to the shoe as well. The shoe feels pretty much locked in as well. There's still some room on the upper of this shoe compared to the Vaporfly Next Percent. So overall score, I'm going to give both of these shoes a score of a 5 because these are pretty much the top tier racing shoes for both brands, and it includes both the latest and greatest technology that they can put in racing shoes. The next category we're going to look at is cost and value. So the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent costs $250 here in the US, which is pretty much the same compared to last year. There is discounts, however, about $25 for other parts of the world, which the U.S. unfortunately didn't get. So that's unfortunate. But the price of the Nike Vaporfly Next Print is still the same. You pretty much get one of the best racing shoes Nike has ever created, and probably one of the best racing shoes on the market right now that a lot of fans still love. The Adios Pro 2 costs $220. That price has increased by $20 compared to last year. That shoe was a very big hit. A lot of people love that shoe. A lot of elite runners also use it and actually won a couple of marathons with this shoe as well. So at one point in time, these two shoes were probably the top two shoes out there in terms of marathon racing, and you would pretty much see either of these shoes in any races anywhere you go. So they're pretty much still one of the top competitors of the marathon racing market. But in terms of cost and value, there's pretty much only about a $25 difference between the two shoes now, with the Vaporfly still costing a little bit more compared to the Adios Pro. So some might say that you'll get a better value with the Adios Pro because it's about $25 cheaper compared to the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent. So in terms of scoring, I'm going to give the Vaporfly 2 a score of a 3.5 and the Adios Pro 2 a score of a 4. So after 2 rounds, the Adios Pro 2 is leading the Vaporfly Next Percent with a score of a 9 to 8.5. The next category we're going to look at is comfort. Both of these shoes are super comfortable and they'll help you through your marathon race or any type of race that you're doing. The Vaporfly Next Percent with the Zoom X foam is probably one of my all-time favorite foams. It's got that perfect balance, in my opinion, for myself on the squishiness and responsiveness, which is perfect for me. It's a little bit softer, in my opinion, compared to the Adios Pro 2. The Adios Pro 2 does have a nice soft foam with the Light Strike Pro, but I feel like the Light Strike Pro foam is a little bit more stiffer for me. In my opinion, you get better dampening system with the Light Strike Pro foam. So for people that doesn't want a super squishy or soft foam, this shoe might be for them. The Zoom X foam is just a little bit more squishier and more bouncier, which it's for me it's perfect. But some people might like the Adidas Light Strike Pro foam. It's more stiff and more rigid, but it gives great response and energy return. And it's definitely helps out with your legs and feet over a long race to give you some relief there. So in my opinion, I think both of these foams are great. In my opinion, the Vaporfly Next Print just gets a slight edge over the Adios Pro 2 simply because the Zoom X foam is a little bit softer and more comfortable. So in terms of scoring for both of these shoes, the Nike's Vaporfly Next Percent 2 gets a score of 5 for comfort, while the Adios Pro 2 gets a score of 4.5. So after 3 rounds, both of these shoes are super close again, with the Vaporfly Next Percent 2 and the Adios Pro 2 tied with a score of 13.5. The next category we're going to look at is weight. So the weight of both of these shoes hasn't really changed much. It's pretty much still the same. The Nike Vaporfly Next Percent still has the edge over the Adios Pro 2, where they weigh about 6.6 ounces as opposed to about a 7.8 for a size 8.5. So the Nike Vaporfly is still one of the lightest marathon racing shoes out there. And that's something that it still has taken advantage compared to a lot of other shoes in the market, but a lot of other brands are catching up in terms of weight and performance. So it's giving Nike a run for their money, but still, as of now, the Vaporfly Next Percent is lighter compared to the Adios Pro 2 and a lot of other marathon racing shoes in the same category. So in terms of weight, I'm going to give the Vaporfly Next Percent 2 a score of 5 and the Adios Pro 2 a score of a 4, simply because it's a little bit heavier compared to the Vaporfly Next Percent 2. So after 4 rounds, the Vaporfly Next Percent 2 has taken a slight advantage over the Adios Pro 2 with a score of 18.5 to 17.5. Next category to decide it all will be performance. Performance-wise, both of these shoes perform beautifully. In my opinion, these two shoes are still probably one of the top 3 shoes for marathon racing options and most widely chosen shoes for marathon races. Nike Vaporfly Next Percent is tried and true shoe. It's still pretty much the same, but with a better fit and upper, and I'm really enjoying the changes as this shoe fits a lot better for me. And the performance, it speaks for itself. So many records have been broken with this shoe, and records continue to shatter, and the shoe is legal for competition with the foam stack height, so you'll see even more people with this shoe going forward in races. So performance wise, this shoe is quick, snappy, responsive, has the perfect balance in the foam for me in terms of stiffness and softness. So I really enjoy the combination in this shoe, and it's great for pretty much any race all the way up to the marathon. Even people with 5Ks are pretty much using this shoe because it's once touted as the fastest marathon racing shoe out there. So it still lives up to the hype, and it hasn't really changed much. Nike knows that it created a gem with this shoe, so they pretty much didn't break anything that what didn't need to be fixed, right? With the Adios Pro 2, this shoe pretty much stuck to its original roots as well. They kept the carbon-infused energy rods, which is a really cool feature at the time when it was released, instead of a carbon fiber plate that every other brand was using. Those rods have been improved as well. I don't really feel those rods in my feet while I'm running anymore. It gives great performance, it gives you great energy return and responsiveness, and the foam is definitely unique, and some people will definitely enjoy the dampening effect of the foam and how a little bit stiffer it is compared to some of the other marathon racing shoes. The performance of the shoe is quick, it is definitely fast, and you can use this pretty much in any race as well, and it's definitely comfortable on your legs and feet, so you don't get tired after long races. And both of these shoes have great uppers that are very breathable, and they're comfortable to wear. The Vaporfly Next Percent has a little bit more lockdown feeling compared to the Adios Pro 2, which has a little bit more room in the upper. But other than that, both of these shoes are meant to go fast and race in, and both of these shoes have proven themselves with races by elite athletes and regular runners all over the world. In terms of scoring for performance, both of these shoes get a score of a 5. So the scores are in, and we have a winner. And the winner of this shoe showdown is the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent 2, just edging out the Adios Pro 2 with a score of 23.5 to 22.5. So as expected, the showdown was very close, but the Nike Vaporfly took the victory again this year, simply because of the enhancements that both shoes made. I believe the Nike Vaporfly, in my personal opinion, is still the faster and better shoe for me. That doesn't necessarily mean that the Adios Pro isn't a good shoe. It might be better for someone else who likes the feeling of that shoe. But in my opinion, I think the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent will still be my go-to racing shoe for marathons or anything, even up to a 5K. So overall, you can't go wrong with any of these two options. They are both great shoes. They both have their pros and cons, and they both feel very different. So, it really depends on the athlete and what kind of feeling they like while they're running. So if you like a more softer shoe, then I would say the Vaporfly Next Percent would be better for you. Or if you want a more stiffer kind of foam, the Light Strike Pro and the Adios Pro 2 might be better for you as well. Both of these shoes are definitely fast, and you can use them for even tempo runs if you want to. But they're made for racing, and they're made to go quick and help your feet in the long run so you don't get tired as quick. So both of these shoes are great options. Price wise, the Vaporfly Next Percent is a little bit more expensive, so they've kept that distance, while the Adios Pro 2 has slowly creeped up in price to $220 as well. So both of these shoes are premium shoes, so it's really up to the athlete which one they like, but you can't go wrong with any of these options. But if you're unsure which to get, I would definitely advise checking them out and trying them on personally. A lot of these companies have great return policies, so if you don't like the shoe, you can definitely return it and try something else. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down below what do you guys think. Which one of these shoes is your favorite? Or if you guys have another favorite marathon racing shoe, I would love to hear which one you like to use. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please hit that like and subscribe button. I hope you guys are all staying safe and your training is going well. And I'll talk to you guys on the next Shoe Showdown.